Never sees the light. She doesn't know where it goes.
Yeah, at least yours is open.
Yeah, I can look outside.
Yeah.
I can see sunshine.
Please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you everyone for being here and those watching on TV. First item, mayor's report. Really, I have no report. I just want to wish everybody a blessed and happy Thanksgiving. And you're counting your blessings. Just be thankful that you live in Hermann, Missouri. We are a blessed community. So I hope everybody enjoys family and a feast. City Administrator?
Jesse and I attended the county transportation meeting at the courthouse last week. And there were representatives from the city of Owensville, the county, of course, MoDOT and NMRPC. And they have an ongoing list, a needs list of things that would qualify for state funding. There were about 20 items for Gasconade County, and our aim that day was to prioritize what we were to suggest up to the next level of the TAC meeting. And so there's one from Owensville, one from Hermann, and one from the county at large. And so we chose 4 actually. And so the first one is for Owensville. It was from the 28 junction to the north of city limits on Highway 19. Has to do with the school entrance being kind of dangerous there, no turn lane. Then there was the Route J intersection outside of town there, west of Hermann. And for the city, it was volunteered the sidewalks connecting the downtown area to the Safe Routes to School sidewalk system, which would mean when our new bridge is built, that pedestrian lane, advancing the sidewalk past that and connecting it probably across by 9th Street down to the park. To connect that whole system, and then maybe even connect the school to the library. The library had reached out to the mayor and I a couple months ago saying that they would really be interested in the city trying to get a sidewalk connected to the library too. So again, that is like a wish list. There's no guarantee that'll make it to the state pet. But anyway, that is what that meeting was regarding, and MoDOT did confirm for us again that our Frank Creek Bridge down there by Ford is still on the list, that they literally have committed funds for that. So that was continued to be good news. I also sent you all the flyer that's going to be going out in the utility bills. We decided to keep it rather general just because there are so many variables with the winter weather, and especially that can affect the gas rates. But I will pass on to you a couple things that our gas consultant updated us with, and that was that on his recommendation, the Gas Commission has taken some actions regarding supply contracting and storage capacity that should help mitigate any price risks should another polar vortex occur like last year. The other thing was that from last year, that investigation under FERC for the manipulation of the prices, what we were calling the price gouging, that's still under investigation all this time later. And they said it could be mid-2022 before we even have the findings from their investigation. So that is ongoing. You know, we were hoping to get some reimbursement from that, but there's no news on the horizon anytime soon. Let's see. MRPC, I attended by Zoom the MRPC meeting last week. It was actually really good. They had a presenter from DNR, their environmental remediation program, what is commonly known as the Brownfield program. And I received a lot of good information on how that program can assist local communities with cleaning up those kind of sites and redeveloping them. So that was really interesting. And I will remind everybody again that this year the candidate filing opens early and closes early. So it's December 7th to December 28th. I'll be working on prepping all those materials to be ready for opening day. And a reminder that the city is closed on Thursday and Friday for the Thanksgiving holiday. And Ray was just asking me about this. We historically only have the one Board of Aldermen meeting in December due to the holidays. Unless something unusual would pop up, you all could of course call another meeting. That's all we have.
All right, tourism, economic development.
Good evening, everyone. I gave you, those of you here in the room, I gave you a 4-page report, so I'm not going to go over it word by word or detail by detail. But I wanted just to give you an update of what's been going on in tourism and economic development in Hermann. We have 3 grants that we are working, our grant contracts that we are working on. Jennifer Davis, our marketing contractor, has been working really hard on that. And we just found out last week that there is another grant opportunity with the Marketing Platform Development Grant. So they're calling it 2.0. And we will definitely be working towards getting another grant to do more good things for Hermann. The fall winter insert, this is an insert that goes into over 300,000 newspapers around the Missouri and around I think the 7 states around us. Hermann was the cover with the Amtrak train, and we were very, very excited to have that opportunity. On number 2, MoDOT, Amtrak, and MORPAC. And MORPAC stands for Missouri Rail Passengers Advisory Committee. Amtrak service, we do have a little bleak information about that. During COVID, the second train was taken away from us, and that is going to happen again this year, January through June, unfortunately. We have partnered with the Missouri Chamber Association, and they are truly taking the lead on getting that funding back for us. So securing short-term funding and long-term funding for MoDOT, for Amtrak. And one of the things that I've asked in that is, you know, I can understand January, February, and March going down to one train, but for us here in Hermann, the impact for tourism, late March when WorstFest kicks off, and then all the way into June, of course, Amtrak is a very important tool for us to get people to Hermann. So we'll see where all of that lands, but there's been emails going every day, and lots of good networking with our state and federal legislators. The MORPAC Marketing Committee was something that was in place before I came, and because of a turnover of Washington, D.C. Amtrak staff, it essentially went away. So that was a committee that I decided it was time to reignite, and we got that going again this fall. So I have facilitated 2 Zoom meetings with MoDOT, MORPAC, Amtrak, and we have some goals set and some good things hopefully coming in the future to market Amtrak more to passengers. We are also seeing with number 3, Missouri Travel Alliance on the next page. Missouri Travel Alliance is a group that we belong to, an organization, and they will be sponsoring again the group Travel Exchange in April, which is a conference for marketing to bus tour groups. And this is something that I've called upon Kay Schwinke and Jennifer Davis behind me, who did the group tour services before, and they are helping us to strategize for Hermann presence and marketing at that conference. And so that'll be in April in Branson. Moving down to advertising and marketing, we are working on our new website. This is a monster, but it is so exciting. It is Mad Media, who we've contracted with, thinks that this will be the best tourism marketing website in the state of Missouri and beyond. So we are really excited. And Mary Kunstman, our webmaster, and Jennifer and I have been working a lot with them on that. And we will hope to launch sometime early next spring. Social media, we continue to have a very strong presence on social media, particularly Facebook and Instagram, and it has been one of our best methods of marketing for us in terms of return on investment. Billboards, in mid-2021, we put up 3 billboards on I-70 and 1 on I-63 north of Columbia, and we'll have a 4th one going up on I-70 real soon. And thanks to the increase of lodging tax, we are able to invest in some of those long-term commitments. The Wilcoman Visitor Guide, we are working on the 2022 version of the Visitor Guide already, and we hope to have it in our hands by Valentine's Day weekend so we can have that all distributed in town and at our the visitor centers around the state of Missouri and the other people on our mailing list. We're also learning, one of the things I learned at the Governor's Conference on Tourism is that a year-round rack card is very necessary for us. We had several visitor centers from around the state at the Governor's Conference on Tourism, and they said they love our visitor guide, but they also want a rack card. And so there's a rack card distribution service that we are also going to invest in, and that will get us in hotels and attractions throughout the state, and that's one of those things that is another long 6-month commitment that I'm really excited to getting back into that. Christmas promotion, we are going strong and have been going very strong on Christmas promotion since at least July. And I listed out there all of the different things that we're doing for Christmas promotion. And we sure hope it'll help get a lot of people to Hermann every day of the week and for all of the wonderful events that we have. Christmas time in Hermann is very, very special, and it is one of my most favorite things to market for Hermann. We're also working on wedding trail promotion already. That's just going to be right around the corner in about 8 weeks in January. And we're working on a rack card for that. We have new digital banners. We have a new logo. So a whole new look and feel for the wedding trail, and we really want to keep weddings in the forefront. The Amtrak Visitor Information Center, the facility, we will have a Visitor Information Center sign very soon. And we will have a billboard on the south side of the billboard at the bridge. So those are in the works and hopefully will be in place by the end of the year, if not sooner. The Hermann Tourism Team, we are a team, and it is an exciting and honor to work with all of these wonderful people. The Tourism Commission, our contractors, and our staff. And I cannot sing their praises enough. Our Tourism Commission continues to be great guidance for us and always provide meaningful feedback for us. Jennifer Davis is our marketing contractor, doing an amazing job with grants management, coordinating design work with Marie Newell, our graphic designer, and implementing new ideas such as our QR codes that all work to educate visitors about Hermann. Mary Kunzman, our website contractor, she's working side by side with our businesses to get their events listed on the calendar of events. She worked with our former web service to get the website converted over to Matted Media, and she continues to make improvements and edits on our current website. Marie Newell, our e-newsletter contractor, is now sending out 2 e-newsletters a month, and they're filled with timely information and great information about events and new businesses and all that good stuff about Hermann. Our tourism services assistants, Beth and Charlene down at the Amtrak Visitor Information Center, they continue to thrive. And last spring, when I commented that starting the Visitor Information Center would be like starting a new business, I was right. That's exactly what happened. We've had to figure out processes and procedures for everything we do, and Beth and Charlene have donated hours of their own time and are enthusiastic about their new roles. And they have decorated the interior of the Amtrak station, they're baking cookies for the cookie walk, and they continue to have new ideas to make the visitor experience to Hermann even better. Beth and Charlene also dove right into group sales. This really hit us a lot faster than what we thought it was, but the bus tour industry and the meeting and event industry have rebounded very quickly from COVID. So Beth and Charlene have been coordinating details between businesses and attractions and the group tour operators. And Kay Schwinke and Jennifer Davis, again, have been mentoring them, and they have learned a lot on their own as well. And lastly, Beth and Charlene started a monthly progress report for the Visitor Information Center, and I present that monthly to the Tourism Commission. The Visit Hermann Partnership for 2022, Jennifer, Mary, and I have been working on those packets and getting those ready for the mail. We will hope to mail those out Monday of next week. It has been a very cumbersome project, but I thank Jennifer and Mary for all their work on this. And next year, 2023, we won't have to do all of this because hopefully it will all be done by our industry portal on visithermann.com. And that we're going to be one of the first DMOs, designated marketing organizations in the state, to have this on their website. So I'm really excited about it. So to close, it's been a great year for tourism and economic development. We had new storefronts open and home-based businesses open. We have new businesses who are going to open their doors within the next few months. We have businesses who are expanding. We have businesses reporting record sales. We have a booming downtown historic district. We have more housing available in 2022. We have young families who have moved to town. and others who will be moving to town. We are attracting entrepreneurs who see that Hermann is a great place to own a business, live, and raise their families. This is what we've been striving for in economic development. We hope that our efforts have helped businesses, attractions, and events thrive. We look forward to 2022 and making it even better for our citizens, businesses, and volunteers who work so hard to make this town a great place to live, work, and visit. Lastly, I want to give a very special shout out to all of the employees of the City of Hermann who work hard every day. Thank you for all you do, and thank you all for your time this evening. Any questions?
Work Fest, you sure?
Pardon?
The Work Fest, you mentioned that right off the bat.
Yes, it's a Chamber of Commerce event, and I'm sure they are working out the details on it.
Okay, cool.
I just want to congratulate you and your team for all the hard work you do, and also want to congratulate you. The Chamber has decided to cancel the lantern parade for the kids that they look forward to, and Tammy and her group has picked that up and moving forward with it, so that will be this coming
This Friday. Gather at 6 o'clock at the Riverfront Park, and the parade starts at 6:30. Bring your own lantern, and if you don't have one, we have a few backups, we think.
Even a flashlight.
Even a flashlight.
But anyway, thank you for doing that. I think that's an important thing,
Yeah.
and it's good for the kids, good for the community, and thank you for picking that up.
I also gave you copies of the Show Me Missouri magazine. This is a really awesome spread that we got for free in the magazine, and I also gave you a business card that has our new one of our QR codes on it with our new QR code. And I can explain more about that anytime to anyone, but we won't take up the time right now.
Again, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll move on to a Public Works Director report.
You're gonna make me follow that?
Better make it good, too.
Mine's annual.
Street department, they got all the Christmas decorations up. They've been picking up leaves. It's pretty well kept them covered up. All the utilities and parks and streets, they all have kind of staffing shortages. It's weird, everybody takes their summer vacation during deer season in the fall. So that's been going on too. Sewer department has been doing a lot of maintenance on the lagoons, doing a lot of cleanup with brush and stuff like that out there, getting that straightened up, looking good. The electric department, we've been doing all the meter changeouts in Book 8, trying to close out the end of our AMR altogether, which that'll be a long time coming. I'm excited to see that. I got some information on the easements for the 69 line. So hopefully we can start getting some movement on that pretty soon, getting some easements signed, and hopefully get that transferred to Central in the near future. Parks Department, they've just kind of been doing their thing, cleaning up. It picked up after Oktoberfest, and of course they've got leaves everywhere too. That's going on, and then of course Ben's going to be out for a while, so we'll try to manage that as best we can. Outside of that, any questions? All right. Good enough.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we'll move on to public comment. Ash?
Hello, everybody. I'm Ash Gears. I live at 310 West 15th. I want to thank you all for the time and letting us speak. I'd like to revisit the food truck issue. A month ago, when there was, I think, that little special section of the new business, there was about 7 different people, individuals who discussed their viewpoints. All had great points of view on both sides. And I want to go on record, I'm not opposed to food trucks, but I really feel Hermann as a tourist town needs some limitations. And I don't think the food trucks are trivial at all, because every other segment of our tourism businesses are not affected in the same way that the food trucks are allowed to just come into town on the private property. For example, if a winery from St. James or Augusta decide to pull up a trailer right across the street from Stonehill or Hermannhof, I don't think that would happen. If it was on private property, I don't think that would be allowed, or the city would, step in and maybe intervene on something like that. If tour buses decked out, RVs or something like that, came in and parked across the street from Hermann Hill, I think there would be the same sort of intervention, by the city. Again, I'm not asking, to say no food trucks, but I would like to have the opportunity to examine it and see what kind of limitations we can put, in place. The second, and this is my perspective of the food trucks in the current location at, during October at 219 East First Street. The historic district has a lot of regulations on what you can and can't do to your buildings. I had a sign torn down from my restaurant about 8 years ago, and I went to the Historical Society and they said, you can do this, this, and this. And basically I had to replace it with exactly what I had up, before. But the food trucks, they don't blend into our historic town. And it's just kind of a blinking red light that I'm not a big fan of. So basically my question is, are there any plans over the course of the winter to have a workshop?
We discussed that, we just never set a date yet. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I really would like that to happen at some point during the winter. Just an opportunity that, we can, all parties involved can get together and hash it out with you guys.
Sure.
So, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you. Nick?
Thanks for having us in, guys. I'm just basically going to touch on what Ash did as well. I'm not going to get into details or anything as far as what's going on, but like him, we would just like to see a workshop. We feel like there is a lot that needs to be discussed on both sides to where we can come to some sort of resolution. We're, like Ash said, we're not opposed to food trucks. We would just like to, we personally and a lot of other businesses alike feel they shouldn't be in the downtown area. And again, that's something that, is open to discussion, and we'd like to, have a workshop about so we can kind of hash out what's going on and come to a resolution. And just hope we can, set something up here pretty quick. So,
Okay,
thank you guys, appreciate it.
Since we're on that subject, do you all want to make a decision on when we should do this workshop?
We need to find a date where we can all be there. That's basically all it amounts to.
You want to do it? What works?
You want to do it yet this year, or?
I don't know how everybody is with holidays. I'm around most of the time, but.
When's our Board of Aldermen meeting, the 13th?
13th, yeah.
So if something works for you in December or January, either one.
Maybe you want to do it on Monday night, we've got the 6th through 20th, so.
The 6th, yeah, or the 20th,
You have something on the 6th?
yeah. No.
You guys?
I don't think so.
Tentatively set it for the 6th of December then?
That work for Nick and Ash?
That's fine with us.
Because you all go out of town for wintertime, don't you?
I'm sorry.
You all go out of town for wintertime, don't you?
We're closed in January and February, but we're in town, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
if you need us there, we can be there.
Okay. Well, I didn't want to mess up your Mexico trip.
No,
Oh,
there, no plans.
I'm sorry, was that the 6th of December or January?
December.
December.
The problem?
Nope.
At 7 p.m.?
Number 6, 7 p.m.
That's how I got her down.
Is that agreeable with everyone?
You got it.
Done.
Yes.
See,
Okay,
we're on.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
there
you.
you go.
Thank you.
Mission accomplished. We'll move forward on that. Okay, we'll move on to ordinances. Mr. Police.
All right, the first on for tonight, on for second reading, is an ordinance calling the general election for the year of 2022, setting the date and time thereof, specifying polling places, appointing judges of election, specifying officers to be elected, providing filing date for candidates, and providing for publication of notice of election and general provisions.
Any questions, discussion? Have a motion?
I move Bill 2021-42.
Motion been made, a second?
I'll second.
Motion made, and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried.
Next on for second reading, bill number 2021-43, an ordinance prescribing the salary for the elected office of city collector and establishing the effective date thereof.
Any discussion on that one? I have a motion to approve.
I move to approve second read bill number 2021-43.
Second.
Motion made, and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried.
Next on for second reading, bill number 2021-45, an ordinance authorizing reclassification of lots 35, 36, and 37 on East First Street from A1 agricultural to C1 general commercial, and lots 69, 71, and 73 on East Second Street from A1 agricultural to R1 single-family residential.
Any discussion? Not to have a motion.
I move to approve second read bill number 2021-45.
Have a second?
Second.
Motion is made, and second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Motion carried.
Next on for first reading is bill number 2021-46, an ordinance to approve a municipal services and material contract by and between the city of Hermann, Missouri and Lamke Trenching and Excavating, Inc. to bore and install gas, water, and electric lines.
Any questions, discussion on this?
This is for work prior to our streets, right? What's this for?
Prior to what?
Prior to our new streets? Is that what this is?
This is a replacement of a line that was along Wine Street, where I guess Herman Hill cleared and then filled the, I guess the Wine Street easement. They have to replace the gas line that goes up through there. And then a section of this is actually, is that price broke out in their bid that they can see?
Yes, 4150 for the city and 1670 for Hermann.
Correct. So part of this is Terry's personal work, and then part of it's the city's work. Terry will be reimbursing us for his section. He's all aware of all that.
Thank you.
I move Bill 2021-46, first read.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made, and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We need to read that the second time. It's a time sensitive.
All right. Bill number 2021-46 for second reading, an ordinance to approve a municipal services and material contract by and between the city of Hermann, Missouri and Lamke Trenching and Excavating, Inc. to bore and install gas, water, and electric lines.
Have a motion to approve.
I move to approve second read bill number 2021-46.
Second. Motion made, and second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried.
Next is bill number 2021-47, an ordinance to approve a contract by and between the city of Hermann, Missouri and Corlier Outdoor Advertising Company for a promotional billboard sign.
Any questions on this one? Do I have a motion, please?
Move to approve 2021-47.
Motion made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made, and second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Also need to read that the second time. Time sensitive.
Bill number 2021-47 for second reading, an ordinance to approve a contract by and between the city of Hermann, Missouri and Corlier Outdoor Advertising Company for a promotional billboard sign.
Have a motion?
Move to approve 2021-47, second read.
Second.
Made, and second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried.
Next, for first reading, bill number 2021-48, an ordinance authorizing the reclassification of lots owned by VFW Post number 4182 and 108 State Highway 100 West from R1 Single Family Residential to A1 Agricultural and C1 General Commercial.
Any discussion on that one?
I will note that I do have conflict of interest again on that.
Okay.
I move 2021-48, first read.
Motion made, second?
Second.
Motion made, second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Resolution.
Next, the resolution on for tonight, number 1313, a resolution to ratify an application for recertification for the Tree City USA designation.
Any questions on that one?
We do this every year.
Right. I have a motion to,
So moved.
motion been made, second?
Second?
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Okay, we'll move on to old business. Anyone have old? Okay, don't have old business.
Hey, let's get the year over with.
All right, we'll move to new business. Any new business? I need to bring something up that I'm putting it under new business is the former mayor had accepted a gift of the Muskrat, which is the replica boat that came down the river. And as he was mayor, he accepted that as the city. Since then, they have formed their own organization, and they have, they have people all across the United States apparently that belong to their organization, which is great. They're doing fundraisers and so forth. And I personally think, and this is up to you all, that we, the city, need to turn over the ownership of the Muskrat to this organization and us not be responsible for it, because we really have nothing to do with it. So, I mean, I'm throwing it out there for discussion amongst you all, because it's just, I don't think we need to have any city ties to basically that entity. We're not in the museum business, we're not, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but
Well, I think the Muskrat could be a nice attraction for the city. They do have a society, they are fundraising for it. You would get into the argument of who's going to be responsible for it. The park board would probably be the natural one, but the park board can't afford it. They don't have the money for the projects they need to continue with right now. So yes, I think it's a good idea to turn over ownership to the Muskrat.
anybody else have any questions or suggestions?
Do they have a 501c3, I'm assuming?
I believe that's what
they
they,
have a nonprofit status, it's probably a
They
city.
should have all that already.
yeah, they're established and doing fundraisers and have, you know, and I just, I guess I'm looking at the liability issue of it for one thing. And then also, we're gonna have to pay insurance and all this other stuff that I don't see a benefit for the city, you know, so why should we spend that money on that project?
So we're
You know,
liable for it all?
What do we do with the caboose? Is that city-owned caboose or?
yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
that was donated to the city, I believe, by MoDOT, or not MoDOT, but Reserve Pacific, or one of the train people.
So do we have to pay for all that then? Insurance and everything on that too?
The caboose is, yeah, the city's responsible for
Yeah, we have insurance on that.
So is that through the park too then?
Not specifically, because we don't own the ground that it sits on to really qualify as a park. There haven't been a lot of expenses. The caboose committee, everything that they've done, the renovations to it, has been paid for through their donations.
Yeah, I think the only expense we have there is the insurance and paying for the electric for the caboose, correct? I mean,
I think they run a little.
correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, the caboose has always been kind of a unique deal because, yes, the boot caboose itself is city property, but the railroad owns all of that. If the railroad decides one day they don't work there anymore, well, they got the equipment to move it, we don't. But it's there and it ain't easy to move, so. And honestly, it's a nice landmark down there. You know, if you can't find the train station right behind the bright red caboose, you probably have been at the winery or too long.
Do we have to decide tonight or can we think about it?
We don't have to decide tonight. I just been thinking about this for some time, and I think that we,
Yeah, I think the Muskrat Society is starting to really want to move forward with the location, plans for building a museum and stuff, so we need to decide before that whole ball gets rolling whether we're in or we're out.
And the city really hasn't even had anything to do with it since basically Bob accepted it. I mean, they've done everything. They've done a fantastic job with fundraising and everything, but it's their project. I mean, we might as well give it to them. So.
Jim, you have any comment?
No, I was just,
Soaking it in?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I kind of asked about the caboose, because that is a museum also. And
Right.
if we paying liability insurance and paying for electric, yeah, the Muskrat was accepted, but I think it was accepted on behalf of the city. I feel some obligations there. Now, how much do we have to go? That part I don't know.
Well, again, this is just me, you know, and I appreciate what they're doing, you know, but they take it to different places to show and tell. You know, they're pulling this thing down the road and have an accident. I know they got car insurance and so forth, but that accident, that liability is gonna fall on us. You know, I just think it's a much bigger liability than the
It's a
train
lot
station.
bigger project. They're actually wanting to, you know, construct or renovate a building to house an entire museum, which is a lot different, a larger of a project than just a little caboose renovation, I would think.
So,
I have no problem with terminating.
well, like I say, you all have to make that decision. I was just making my personal thoughts and recommendations that I think it's time to do that.
Did you want a motion on that?
If you want to go that far.
I mean, it's up to
if
you guys,
wanna
but
take-
I will make that motion.
Hang on 1 second. Yes, sir.
I was just gonna, we ought to have a paper trail for it, a document called assignment. You know, we, the city, do hereby assign this Keelwood Muskrat to the society and on and on and on, and you sign, and somebody sign on behalf of the society and maybe approve that by resolution. Maybe we can do that at the next meeting.
Okay.
That sounds
Fine with me.
Because I remember, I think we did something like that when we accepted it, and there's not a serial number, but there's a description of it.
But we need to vote on that procedure amongst us now, right? Or just go ahead and do the
No,
procedure?
we'll just do it. And it'll be on
I mean, do we have
the
do
next
we have
meeting's agenda.
Do we have a consensus here that we want him to draw that document up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, okay. All right, if you would proceed with that, that would be good. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your input. Any other new business?
The turkey trot is Thursday. If anybody wants to walk or run or direct traffic, let me know.
All right. We'll move on to motions. Minutes, motion to approve the minutes.
I move to approve the November 8th, 2021 minutes.
Second.
Motion's made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Invoices for payment.
Move we pay the bill.
Motion's been made to pay the bills. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Pay the bill. Approved bid of $26,745 from Sidon Stricker Novi Implement Company for a tractor and backhoe attachment for the park department.
Is this in the budget?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I will move to approve this on their recommendation.
Motion's been made. Do I have a second?
I'll
Second.
second.
Motion's made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Approve the bid from ARB Signs for t-shirts and more for the Youth League basketball shirts and welding totals for pitchers.
Move to approve.
Motion's been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Special event application, Alpine Shop, Tour of Hermann Gravel Challenge Bike Race, Lower City Park and various streets.
I move to approve.
Motion's been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Special event application, Tourism Department Children's Lantern Parade, Riverfront Pavilion and City Streets, November 26, 2021.
Move to approve.
Motion's been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion's made and second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. On that, again, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and we need a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Motion made and second.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
About the sidewalk project.